I have to keep my hands like this, the doctor said, or else I might... headphones. These are the T50RP Mark III, and these are the Fostex, of course, headphones. They're updated in a lot of different ways, and these are modded by Mayflower Electronics. Now, these are orthodynamic, meaning that they have a very thin sheet in here that vibrates and gives you very accurate sound. If you guys are familiar with Hi-Fi Man, they make headphones that are the same sort of thing. They're not the standard cone speakers like you're used to, so they're slightly different. Now, Mayflower, they take these and they make them better in just about every way. And let's just start off with it. First off, the guys at Fostex, they have updated the top band here. It's not as rubbery and hard. It's much nicer. It's much nicer. It's a little bit of softness to it. So not much of an upgrade needed here. Now down to the cans themselves here. Mayflower decided that, the pads that came with the original, no, not very good. They swapped them out at first for some memory foam pads, but now they have some new ones. And my God, this is memory foam, and there's like a really soft fabric on top. This is like ear sex right here, guys. Now, in order to fit these on there correctly, they have another padded material under here that's secret, another little thing they put in there. So that's just the one thing they've done here on the outside. I'd say on a comfort level, these are like 8.6 out of 10. The only thing I would do to make these even more comfortable, I guess some of the other modded headphones that they make, they had a bit of memory foam padding that they added to the top here. Now you guys can grab the upgrade kit on their website on Mayflower Electronics, and you can add some padding to the top here to make it just like your head will be just encompassed by a pillow. I mean, if I was on a roller coaster, I would want this instead of those normal little pads they put behind your head that are really like bricks that you just slam into, but they're close bricks, so they're not like gonna make your neck snap. But these, I would wear these and it'd be much nicer. Now, what else do they do to modify these? I haven't even told you the specs yet, but that's okay. So on the inside of here, they put some clay, they put some different bits of foam in certain spots, and it really changes the sound. Also, when you buy these out of the factory, they're semi-open back, so some of the sound can escape, and it should give you a pretty good soundstage. However, the sound is not quite as full as some of the other headphones out there on the market. And what they've done is they've taken some felt and they've covered up the vents on the back here, and suddenly everything got much more full, which is interesting because normally you would sacrifice the soundstage. Like, the soundstage is like how large of an area do you perceive the world to be in? Like when you're in a game or when you're listening to music, can you hear where the position of the instruments? Can you hear how far away things are? That's the soundstage. Now, when they close this up, it does shorten. It does, I guess, reduces the soundstage a little bit. That's all it does. But not so bad. These things, I played some video games, and you can still really hear where things are coming from. And I guess it's about time to get to. We've talked about the fit and the feel. Wobbly. Adjust this here. I've got to talk about that. Oh yes. Adjust, and it's pretty firm once you get it to the right spot. Anyway, I'm putting these things down for just a second, and we'll talk about the specs, and then I'll tell you how I think they sound. Now, as far as the specifications go, well, they're only 50 ohm as far as the impedance goes, but the sensitivity is 92 decibels. So you are going to want to amp these. Normally with the 50 ohm pair of headphones, the sensitivities are usually a little bit higher than that, but since that's so low, they are going to sound kind of quiet and not nearly as full. So you definitely need to amp these if you want to really take advantage of them. That's just the way it is. They sound a lot better. The frequency response range on this is 15 hertz to 35,000 hertz. Pretty good frequency response range on this. The human ear is only 20 to 20. But usually when you have speakers that are able to produce greater than the human level of hearing, you'll usually have tighter lows in the bass. So it doesn't have floppity sounds. I mean, no one likes floppity, muddy bass, do you? I don't like it. And then the highs are usually a little bit crisper from my own perspective. Now let's talk about how these sound. These have a very clean sound, but not quite analytical. It's slightly warmer. And I think because they closed up some of the vents here, it maybe made the sound a little bit warmer. The mids they don't sound like they're up that much, but you can tell it's just a little bit warmer. The highs are nice and clean, but then they back that up with some of the lower frequencies do have a bit of a punch. These are not bass cannons. They do make another mode for people who want to listen to dance music and want to get that extra kick in the bass area, but that's not what these are. These are really good for classical, rock and roll, stuff that has treble and bass. A good tight kick drum is always going to sound really good with these. And I found that, they weren't sibilant when listening to some different music. I have to put on a different playlist just to make sure these things aren't sibilant for you guys out there. And these were not. They were maybe borderline on some songs. They, some of the highs, some of the really high highs. Really high highs. You join us, Portland, Oregon. Really high highs here, guys. It all rhymes. I was a poet and was not aware of that fact. Anyway, some of those are, close to being harsh, but they have a nice smooth roll-off, so it's okay. I think these are the best sounding modified headphones that Mayflower Electronics has made. My previous favorite was the old version of these, but also the version ones, because they were good for rock and roll and classical and that sort of thing. But yeah, these sound really good, and pretty damn durable and everything too. I would kind of like to hear what an open back version sounds like, just to see if it has a bigger sound stage at the sacrifice of maybe some of the fullness and warmth and that sort of thing. But for closed back, this is about as good as it gets, and in my opinion, they sound really good. I mean, these are up there with some of the hi-fi man stuff, and those are some of the best orthodynamic headphones on the planet. One other thing I want to mention, you guys will notice that the side here, you can replace the cable, and if you buy it, normally it comes with a cable. I believe it's orange, and it will lock into place there. You plug it in and it locks in, so it if you're someone who is constantly getting up and running across the room when your mom says, "What are you doing? Get up!" and you're like, "Oh shit!" and then you get up and run, and you you jerk out your cord or whatever, it will lock in place, so it will just rip the headphones off of your head instead, if that's what you want. I'm going to recommend this. It's on their website. This is the V-Moda cable. And this one it's a braided cable, maybe fray a little bit if you play with it too much, but it's actually much lighter weight and just a much better cable. And then it's not quite an L, it's like a kind of an L, but 45-degree angle. But this is what you'll use to plug in up here on your headset. And this has a nice, it doesn't lock like the other one, but it plugs in really well, and so I didn't feel like I needed a locking mechanism or anything like that. But this is just a much better cable. It's a couple extra bucks on their website when you buy it. So I want to recommend when you grab these to go ahead and buy that cable. As far as downsides go, if you're someone who likes open back, maybe not the best thing on the market. Yeah, you can get the basic ones and do modifications yourself if you want to. You can do that. But these guys know what they're doing, and they've done a lot of modifications. And these are extremely comfortable and just a hell of a nice sounding set of headphones. So Mayflower, hell of a job here. I wish I had more things negative to say, because it sounds like I'm just giving this a amazing review, but these things do sound better than I thought. So there you have it. The T50RP Mark III, and this is their modified version from Mayflower. Go ahead and check out the link in the description. Get some shirts over on the side over there. We got some links over here. I'm just pointing with these things now. And I'll see you guys in the forums. Let us know what you think.